Welcome back, viewers. This is Chungu Cha Jamii. Today we are talking about the age-friendly community. Before we went on a break, we are able to learn that technology gives you what you want, but the elderly gives you what you need. So once you understand these two, you will know that we are supposed to acquire both. Whatever we want and whatever we need, we should also keep that one in mind. Send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So coming back to you, I would want to know, how accessible are the public spaces, buildings and transport for the elderly community?
I would say there is some bit of improvement, but a lot have to be done.
Okay.
Of late I have seen the county governments doing a lot of walkways alongside the roads. They are improving on them, but I think they are also forgetting that our business community, they are using the same walkways. That is a failure from one side. Number two, access to the service providers. It is not yet closer to the older people, because as much as they introduce the technology, they are supposed to also to train the older people on how to access this. What do I say about this? I say, like now I would be able to pay a bill, water bill or electricity through my phone. But what about my grandmother or my grandfather who is not knowledgeable to this? So I still think there is more to be done. And this always would be guided by the policies, which I think they are not in place. And if ever they are there, then they are kept in the shelves and they are not brought to the people. I would blame the Minister of Health, Minister of Education, because it should be inclusive. Every time we talk of education, we see of young people and the children. Where are these older people who never had a chance to go to school? And is it not the right of the mandate of the government to give information to the population? Now, how do the older people access the information? It's not very clear. So I think there is a lot to be done. And this can only happen if the policies are guiding. And then we have Act of Parliament, which will command and direct all the players to give the service to the targeted population of older people. Yes.
Thank you so much for that. Maybe to talk on a different angle, when we are talking matters to do with the elderly community, we have issues to do with abuse. What are these abuse that we talk about that the elderly community are being subjected to?
And I think abuse is thuruma, isn't it? Yeah. Thuruma ni kila aina nyingi kwa wakongwe. Tuko na inaanza kwa nyumba. Kwa wale watoto tumezaa. Kwa sababu anakuthurumia na njia nyingi sana. Kuona mimi ni mzee, nimebadilika sura, nimebadilika nini, hata mavazi sivai vizuri kwa sababu ya uzee. Sasa hawezi kuniletea kitu mzuri sababu mimi ni mzee, ananitupa tu hivyo. Hata nguo hawezi kwenda kuninunulia ile mpya kwa duka, ananiletea ile mzee. Hiyo ni dhuluma moja kwanza inakuwa kwa nyumba. Sisi tukiwa wazee, unaleta hiyo ya mtumba. Huwezi kuniletea ya ngora nifae ama unipeleke kwa tailor nikasone. Naona hiyo ni dhuluma kubwa sana. Na mimi ukiwa mdogo nilikuwa nakufanyia kila kitu, mafuta na kununulia. Sasa ananiambia unaweza paka hiyo napika naye. Naona hiyo napika naye unaweza kujipaka. Sabuni pia namna hiyo. Hiyo ni dhuluma. Na chakula. Chakula ninanyimwa, na anapewa kitu kidogo tu. Hawezi kupewa chakula ile inalingana na mwili yake ya uzee. Ndio hii ugonjwa isiwe nyingi sana. Naona anaitwa subua. Tunaitwa hiyo jina subua. Hiyo ni dhuluma kubwa sana. Tena ikija hivyo inakuja kwa community mpaka inaenda kwa serikali. Serikali tena hana haja na sisi, ndio anatudhulumu kabisa. Kwa hivyo dhuluma ni nyingi, inatembea kutembea ni nyingi sana. Tunaomba hiyo dhuluma nyinyi watoto muache, nyinyi serikali muache, mtuchukue vizuri, kwa maana tulikuwa kama nyinyi. Ni miaka tu inaenda ikifanya hivyo. Na nyinyi mtakuwa hivyo. Mtupatie nafasi yetu ya uzee, ile miaka Mungu ametupatia. Tuendelee na raha yetu kutoka kwa nyinyi, sio kudhulumiwa na nyinyi. Kwa hivyo dhuluma ni ya kila aina ndani ya mzee ule ako kwa hii dunia. Tunadhulumiwa sana na jamii na serikali zote.
Maybe to add on that, when we are talking about abuse, and as she has mentioned from the family, that they are facing a lot of abuse, and now to the government and to the community at large. What are these abuse that we are talking about? Like she has said, when it comes to personal essentials not being provided.
I think we may have, just as she said, is very broad. But one, I should look at psychological abuse, financial abuse, physical abuse, and there may be 3, 4 the major. And I think this is key because, like what she has mentioned about, you go and buy a dress for her. You don't even regard as she would wish to have which is fashion, which color, or anything. You see, like you perceive like she cannot decide by herself. Even when she has the money in the pocket, you want to budget for it. You cannot ask her what she has in mind. This is psychological. It's not good. I have seen, and this happens to many young people, and especially working class. When they want to go and visit their parents, yes, they buy food and everything, which is okay. But when it comes to shoes, to clothes, they don't care what color or fashion their parents want. They just go and buy and they give them.
Let me ask you.
A parent will never refuse to receive, but they will never wear them.
Let me ask you, when you are talking about fashion,
Yes.
shoes and clothes and everything,
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong. Growing up, I've had my grandparents, my parents saying, whatever cloth I bring you, yours is to accept without interjecting. Now, that is how you have raised me. Because even when I'm going to buy my kids' clothes, I also go check, this one will look good on you, this one will look good on you. So I won't ask for your opinion, because that is how you've raised me up.
But
now,
also, I would challenge you because the same parent took you to school, and probably he or she did not went to school. You have
True.
your brains to see. Like, for example, now I would wish to ask you this question.
ask please.
We have skin-tight trousers. Would you buy for your grandmother?
Of course.
Of course.
Yes.
Do you think she would refuse?
No.
She will take it.
Yes.
But to her age, she may feel that she doesn't have to wear this one. She may give it to another
Person.
grad child.
But why? Because to me, I feel like now that you've put that as a proper example, if I bring for you a that tight,
Yes.
I'm bringing because of maybe the cold season. You don't have to necessarily put, like I am putting it on with just a top and it, okay? If you're not comfortable, just put on your long dress and have it inside. The essence as to why I have thought of it, it's because of the cold and to protect you from the cold.
Because you have the feeling and the understanding on why you buy it. But did you prepare me for that? Or you guess that I'll just accept?
You should. But you're complaining because of the cold. Ma'am,
This is where-
what is your take on that? Because if you're complaining of the cold, if I understand you have arthritis, okay? And now I bring you the tight, or I bring you the trouser. Because mostly I find that when they refuse, it's because they don't want to wear the same way we. For that aspect, I do understand a lot. But if at all it is there to help you, to protect you from cold, you're not supposed to appreciate that.
But most of us, they have attitudes ya kusema, sasa hata hii ameniletea ajui nivaga rangi kama hii ama material ina hii. Sasa ikae hapo nitaenda kununua nikipata pesa zangu. They have attitude sana. Most of them.
You've just rightfully said it's attitude. What are we supposed to do to match the attitude? Because
you come, unaweza kununua.
You have the attitude, and I, as the young generation, has the attitude.
You can bring her or him many of the shirts or trousers or dresses. Then you put them there, mwambie, ma'am, hizi unataka aina gani hapa? Unataka aina gani?
Wow. That is why we need you on the digital approach. I'll just take a photo of it, send you, and then you choose.
That one, it has been there, even those years here. Ile ya wazee, wale wako wazee kuliko sisi. It is true. It has been there.
Very well.
Thank
In fact,
you.
You know what?
Uh-huh.
If you want me to accept and fully take your take, you have to prepare me. And if you don't prepare me, I will not throw you away because you are my granddaughter, but I'll make sure I don't wear it. I give it to another granddaughter, which by I've seen cases happening within the family. Somebody complaining, I always buy my mother
something and he gives away.
She gives away.
Then I won't buy.
Even she gives away.
I won't buy. Wow. We all have a problem. Can we agree on that? We all have a problem.
A big problem.
Another thing with this aged, we are so many thoughts, many of us. Me, I'm not like the other one there or like this one. We tuko too different. Akili za mtu ziko different. Kile unataka sio mimi naona hivyo ama kufikiria. Another thing, you buy her or buy him many things. Even the food, even what, but without giving her money or his money, he's not happy or she's not happy. You leave her with something, her pocket. You tell her, take this so it's for you to buy something which you want, or to go to the charmer, for the charmer, ya mama, ya mama. Yeah.
Yes, I hope you're learning as much as I am, that whenever you go visiting them at the villages, you should ask for their opinions, whatever clothes, color, design, fashion that they want to wear. Send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So, Mama, you were saying that we should ask you for the color and for the fashion that you want. This one, will this reduce the abuse that we are all talking about? And why is it time that we should initiate this giving the tokens, like you've mentioned about the chama? Are we aware that we are supposed to, or are we not aware? Because growing up, most of the children, or most of the young generation, we have grown seeing you as my grandmother giving me the pocket money. Now, when do we change hands? Because mostly we say that we are not supposed to receive. There are those people who say, I'm not supposed to receive money from my young child. And there is that person who say that my young child should give me pocket money and I would not refuse. I'm okay with that. How now do we know that you as the old generation is open to receiving pocket money from me, or you are not open? How do we start that conversation?
Hiyo inategemea how often you comes to see me.
Okay.
How often you comes to see your mother or your grandfather.
Okay.
Hapo ndio utajua ni vibaya ama ni vizuri nimpatie kwa sababu kwa vile mko pamoja naye wakati unaendaka kumuona.
Okay.
And I think it's most important when you go there to see your grandparent, don't think that she or he will refuse whatever you are giving. You just tell her, I have given this for you. It can help you, although it is so kidogo, it will help you.
Okay.
And she will appreciate.
Ah.
And I like the way she has put it. You must be visiting her many a time, so for you to understand what she likes and what she doesn't like. When you remain away, you think you know, and you find yourself you don't know. And this brings me back to technology gives us what we want, but the elders give us what we deserve. Yes.
Wow, thank you so much. Okay, moving aside from the elderly abuse, maybe you can tell us what are we supposed to do when it comes to elevating the old generation? We have mentioned that most of the old generation did not go to school. As a community, as a government, what are we supposed to do to integrate this?
I repeat and I say again, and this one comes well with the theme of this year. First, we have to have love to our older persons. We give love to them, and if ever we love them, we incorporate them into our all development agendas. They may not have skills or even the ability to implement, but they have the wisdom to guide us as to how we should do it. I've seen Kenya growing, and we have put up so good houses which are not age-friendly. And two, look at our young people. They want to do story buildings. Sometimes they are good, but also they cost when we grow old. You find somebody did 3 floors, now he cannot climb up because age has come. So we need to work with the older people for them to enlighten us as to how we shall age. We should have forums. We should have government policies bringing all the society together despite the age. Because if we start so, the young man will learn from the older man, and the older man also will learn from the young man. Why today, as I sit here, when I was in school, even the teachers did not know what is a computer. So we did never get a chance to understand what is computer. But today, wherever you go, you have to use computer. Is the government aware that I'm being left behind because not my duty? I was born by that time, I was brought up at that time, and there were no computers. Should they come back to pull me up? So this is an area we need to address. Number 2, education is a basic right. Let it not be chargeable to the older persons. If I want to go for a degree in university, don't charge me. Maybe I could have gone already. It's only that there were no room. Open up for older people to learn more. They may be better than the young generation today, because the kind of education we have today, added to the wisdom the older people have, could bring a wonderful world altogether. Yes.
Wow, that is so interesting. Now, Mom, coming to you, what are some of the measures that are there to ensure that the old generation or the old people can access the hospital, that is the health care, and can access transport, and also can access simple things like the grocery shop? What are there implementations that are made to make sure that all these are brought closer to you as the old community?
Hiyo mambo ya kuhusu transport ni iko ngumu sana na ni mbaya wakati huu. Kama sijui kama nimekusikia vizuri swali yako.
Nauliza aje, ni mikakati yapi yenye imewekwa ensure that nyinyi kama wazee mnapata proper health? Mkienda kwa maduka za dawa, that is the pharmacy, mnapata madawa vile inatakikana. Mkisema mnataka kwenda hata kama ni soko, you are also able to access the grocery shops na hizo vitu zenye mnahitaji. Zimeletwa kwa ukaribu ama ziko mbali na mnapata shida za kuzi access?
Hakuna yoyote iko karibu. Hakuna. Kwanza nikienda hospitali napimwa alafu ananiambia hii ni uzee uko naye. Hakuna dawa. Na apatio tu pana ndo naenda. Naona na pressure iko juu, iko kila kitu juu. Hii arthritis nini? Na sababu anaona ni mzee, ananifukuza tu hivyo bila madawa ile ya kunipima. Tena mambo ya transport hiyo ndio tena mbaya sana. Ndio nimeanza na ni mbaya kabisa. Tukiingia kwa gari ni mrefu kama hapa. Hiyo basi ama matatu. Unachukua mguu naye huko koda hii manamba. Ananibeba mpaka ananisika tu matako hivi akinisukuma. Naona ndio niweze kuingia. Tena nikiingia nakaa huko hata mzigo yangu inaanguka. Tena wakati ya kutoka ndio shida sana. Naanguka sababu dereva hasi kusimama, gari inafanya hivi na mimi nashuka. Inafanya hivi na mimi nashuka. Si unaona mpaka nashikiliwa na wale wako huko karibu na stage. Hiyo tena ni ile mbaya sana kwa sisi wazee. Imetuharibu kabisa. Hiyo gari inafanya fui. Hiyo tumelia sana. Serikali watuletee gari iko chini ya kubeba wazee ili wanabebwa. Kwa hospitali dawa huwezi pewa. Hiyo ni uzee iko naye. Ende akakunywe Panadol akae namna hiyo. Kwa hivyo hizo vitu zote hiyo tena ni dhuluma zingine tuko nazo sisi wazee. Tumedhulumiwa sana kwa njia hizo ya transport, ya madawa ya hospitali. Hata ukienda uchumi kwa chakula bado unadhulumiwa na wale wako na mapesa huko wanasukuma sisi wazee. Kwa hivyo wazee sisi tuko kwa hatari. Hata huyo mzee anaitwa Mr. Elijah amejaribu sana kuwaweka pamoja. Yeye hujaribu na Mungu amsaidie sana. Kwa hivyo tuko na shida kabisa.
Mr. Elijah, coming to you. What is your take on the same? Are there facilities and amenities brought closer for the older generation to be able to access?
There may be some steps taken, but they are not yet. They don't have any impact. The reason being, what she has just said about access to services. The movement from the house to the service provider is a barrier. Number two, even getting the quality service she deserves or he deserves is another barrier. Therefore, I would say a lot needs to be done. It is not yet done, but it is started. Why I say it is started is because you'll see from the media, they are explaining like the prices of the food, where you can find this food. That is a step. But now how to reach there is the other challenge. And also having the money to buy that at what cost it costs. That is another challenge. I would say the government has not done enough. It should work. Yes.
Wow.
Older people have been left, and that aspect of accessibility is not there. Yes.
So when we say they have not yet worked enough, so what are some of the community services that are available at our communities for the old generation?
Maybe I ask you, even as a young as you are, when we have bride people, they have white cane. When you are old and you cannot walk quickly, what shows the driver across the road that this old man cannot run, therefore he has to slow down. I'm talking of a zebra crossing. This is an old man who is sick, who cannot walk quickly. Maybe he has arthritis. And the lights are now green. The driver wants to pass. What indicates that this man is in need of more time for him to access, that is close to the other side. That is a barrier, a gap. The other thing is, she has said about when going to the supermarket also. Do we give our older people priority as we queue, or do we leave them to, for God's sake, I'm saying we better be kind to our older people, and they deserve our right. I always tell people, my gray hair is an asset, not a shame, and they give me respect that I deserve. I'm only ahead of you by age. By the way, we don't grow old. We only ripen.
Wow. We don't grow old, we only ripen. I'd also want to ask, when it comes to matters of loneliness, matters of isolation, do you feel that the elderly community are isolated and are left home alone to be lonely? Madam.
Hii ya kuwa lonely ndio unaamaanisha hiyo. Kuwa lonely iko kwa wazee kila mahali na kila wakati. Kwa sababu ni maacho tu na watoto peke yangu nyumbani, sina hata mfanyikazi. Naamuka tu nasogeza kasufuria kangu, napiga chai ama nini, tena nakaa tu namna hiyo. Hiyo loneliness ni nyingi sana. Lakini tukiwa kwa community, loneliness hakuna. Kwa maana tuna share words, tuna share things, tunacheza, tunafanya nini, hiyo loneliness inaisha. Kwa hivyo kuwa na community ni kitu muhimu sana. Hiyo community ya wazee inaleta wazee pamoja na inatoa hiyo loneliness ya kuwa na mtu ako lonely. Inapoteza kabisa. Kwa hivyo
maybe I ask you, this is very key because I would wish to hear Kenyans speaking about it. Right now I've seen we have modernized the Uhuru Park. Do you see any part for older people? Or we are being chased out of the Uhuru Park?
for the young.
You can also be young. That's why we want you to be energetic and young as you are.
Don't you know there are age-friendly equipments that could have been put there? Yes,
How
you
are we
can
going
do
to
whatever.
integrate you to our .com then if you don't want
We
to?
also want to
Even
integrate
you should step forward.
We also want
Bwana.
to integrate you and prepare you because you are also aging.
But you're taking us to be aging haraka and we want you to be at least younger. For you, being younger is acceptable because we don't want to push you to the limit of your age. But you are pulling us to your age so much and so fast. Eh?
So you don't want us
No,
to
we
move
don't
with
want.
us, yeah?
We
Let
want
me-
to move with you, but also engage you to be younger as
Those
we are.
things which are a must, we don't run away from them. They follow us with all the time.
All right, we have our park. Okay, I'm being told we are running out of time.
Yes.
Maybe starting with you, in less than 1 minute, you give us your parting shot. Maneno yako ya mwisho in less than 1 minute.
Okay, alright. Yangu ya mwisho ni kufurahia GPS. Kwa vile tumekuja hapa, tukatoa maneno yetu ile iko na shida na sisi, na tuko na tumaini ati watatuchukulia hiyo maneno mbele kwa serikali, ndio watuchukue vile tumeteta. Hiyo mateta yetu iendelee hapo mbele, ndio tuweze kusaidika sisi wazee, kwa maana tunadhulumiwa sana sana. Kwa hivyo ni asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki, muendelee na mna hiyo na moyo mzuri.
Asante sana. To you, Mr. Elijah.
Mine is to say, this is the month we mark the Elder Abuse Awareness Day. And I call upon all Kenyans to not abuse the older people, and let us have love for the older people, because we are also aging and we will wish to be loved. Thank you for GBS. Thank you for the team that has made us speak this. Whoever have heard, you have a duty to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and educating us on matters to do with the old generation. Viewers, I hope you've learned as much as I have. I hope you've taken notes on things to do, things not to do with the elderly community. Let's continue this conversation offline across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. Till next time, have a nice time. Goodbye.